Hey, it's Kasha. Today's video is about the Tyler Robinson preliminary hearing and the Charlie Kirk stuff. Now, I know this is not the normal type of thing that I talk about on my YouTube, but I just had to. There's just so much going on about it, and it just feels so skewed and really kind of interesting. So, as a lot of you probably know, Tyler Robinson's preliminary hearing was last week, and I listened to every minute of it streamed live. And I find it really strange that so many people are reporting on it, and the things that they're reporting are not really what was shown in the hearing. So that's what I want to talk about today. I just want to make it really clear that I'm not making any assumptions or exclusions about what Tyler Robinson allegedly did or didn't do. I'm not saying that I am right. I'm saying that it's all a little bit confusing and seems pretty strange. In case you weren't aware, a preliminary hearing is not a trial. It's not about whether or not he is guilty and whether he actually did it. It's about whether or not there is probable cause. And so they're trying to establish whether or not there was probable cause in order to decide whether or not there will be a jury trial. Now that the hearing is completed, there's all these people online making all these assertions that he is guilty. And there's this mountain of undeniable evidence that he did it. And again, I want to be really clear that I'm not saying that he didn't do it. I'm not saying that he wasn't there. But a lot of the things I'm going to mention turned up in the hearing. And based on everything that was in the hearing, there is not a mountain of evidence that says that he did it. I do think that there is probable cause for a trial to take place. And I do think that there should be a trial that takes place. However, it's not like an open and shut case, in my opinion. So based on everything that I heard and saw at that hearing, there was no proof that Tyler shot him or that the alleged bullet came from his weapon or that there was actually a clear video of him doing it. So there's all sorts of claims being made online that there's this clear footage that they showed in court at the end that he did take the shot. And it says that the video footage was clear and that he did it, that everybody gasped and all that stuff. But there's also video footage from the hearing of the judge asking the prosecutor if there was video footage of the shot being taken, and that prosecutor saying no. So that directly contradicts what all these people are saying online right now. So everybody in court at this hearing was under oath. And the judge directly asked the prosecutor if there was footage of that happening, and the prosecutor said no. So are we to believe the prosecutor and the judge from the hearing that said that that footage does not exist? Or are we to believe all of these influencers and media outlets online saying that this video does exist? It's pretty confusing and it really doesn't make sense. A lot of the accounts are saying that there was an alleged confession to both Tyler Robinson's parents and the police. But where is that confession? Why was that not brought up at all in the hearings? The only confession that was brought up was in Lance Twiggs' testimony. Why didn't they show that in court? Why did they only show a very short video of Tyler Robinson in custody without actually sharing the supposed confession that he gave when he was at the police department? I find it super interesting and strange that this is all Lance Twiggs' word versus Tyler Robinson's word, and that Lance Twiggs supposedly has immunity, even though Lance's DNA is also on the alleged firearm. It's also on the screwdriver that was allegedly found on the roof. It's also on the towel. So both of their DNA is on both of these things, and yet Lance has immunity and Tyler doesn't. That seems really strange to me. So why was Lance granted immunity? Why would he benefit from having immunity? What possible criminal exposure is there for Lance that he's getting granted immunity from? Why aren't any of the text messages or the Discord messages being verified? Why is it just like a screenshot of Lance's phone? Why isn't there any confirmed forensic extraction or metadata validation? Now, I'm not a lawyer, but it's really confusing to me based on everything that I've read, because apparently Tyler Robinson has a right to confront the witness. So why wasn't Lance Twiggs forced to come in and testify, either in person or by Zoom? As far as I can tell, from everything shown in the hearing, there is nothing linking the actual rifle to the fatal shot. There is nothing proving that that rifle was shot shortly before it was found. There's no mention of any sort of dogs. Like, why didn't the dogs smell this supposed firearm that was allegedly shot? Dogs should be able to smell these firearms for multiple days after this happens. Why was there no gunshot residue tested or performed on Tyler Robinson or Lance Twiggs? According to the prosecution's account at the preliminary hearing, Tyler Robinson voluntarily surrendered. But why was there no confession from the police department? Why didn't they show the officer's body cam footage that was surveilling the roof after the shot? They say that his body cam footage died shortly after his shift started, even though body cams should technically last for a lot longer than that. Why didn't they show that body cam footage? Supposedly, body cams will alert you when the battery is low, but that wasn't shown. And the officer didn't state definitively, yes, my body cam was alerting me that the battery was low and it died. He said, I think that the battery died, which seemed really strange to me. Why is there no more info or verification of that unidentified man or officer that was on the roof with a firearm with the other officer that was surveilling the roof? The officer that was on the stand mentioned that there was somebody else there with a pistol and that was also surveilling the roof that had a badge, but it was an unidentified officer, and nobody looked further into that. That didn't seem strange to anybody. Why was there another round from a completely different firearm found on a totally different roof? So there was this unidentified .223 found on a totally different rooftop, and nobody finds that strange. All of the videos were super grainy, and the ballistics testing came up inconclusive. It didn't link the bullet to that firearm. And if they have all of this grainy footage from all over campus and of the rooftop before the shot happened and after the shot happened, why is there no grainy footage of the shot happening? I find it super strange that there's no clear image of a face on any of that video footage from campus. Even in the video of Lance Twiggs, he's not 100% certain that it's Robinson in the videos. He says that it's possibly Tyler Robinson because the person is wearing jeans and similar sneakers or shoes to the ones that Tyler wears. He also states that he doesn't recognize the hat that he's wearing. In the videos, it seems really strange that the person that they think is Tyler Robinson has weird gait changes in the way that he walks in the videos. He limps on different legs at different times. I also think it's super strange that Twiggs states that Tyler Robinson never talked about Charlie before this, or even about trans or gender issues, even though supposedly they were in some sort of a romantic relationship and living together. Also, it's super strange that the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., was at the hearing. Why is that? Was he there to intimidate the judge, intimidate the public, intimidate potential future jurors? I'm just really confused. I watched every minute of this hearing, and I don't see a mountain of evidence. Again, I do think that there is probable cause for a trial. I do think that a trial should take place. I do think that some of the evidence is interesting. But there was no open and closed, this definitively happened. This was definitively this person. It seems super strange to me. But let's just say Tyler Robinson did do it. Our country and our court system is built on innocent until proven guilty. It's built on us having a right to a fair trial. So regardless of what you think about Tyler Robinson or his guilt or his innocence, can you honestly say that his right to a fair trial is being upheld? He's already convicted in the eyes of the media and the public, even though all evidence and hearsay that was presented in this hearing honestly is inconclusive at this time, in my opinion. Where are all of the verified confessions? They state that he supposedly confessed to his parents, that he supposedly confessed to the police. Why was none of that evidence presented at the hearing? Why was Lance Twiggs granted immunity? It all just seems super strange to me. There's no raw, uncut footage of Tyler Robinson taking the shot. And honestly, I don't trust our government. I don't know anybody that has two brain cells to rub together that does. Can you honestly tell me a time in history where our government and all the three-letter agencies told us the truth consistently and that they were honestly trying to protect us and do what was right for the people? All the things that I just discussed are directly about the hearing. Nothing that I discussed even touched on the alleged weapon and the alleged size of the bullet and what the research shows to what that kind of bullet would do to a human body. When you put all this evidence together, it really doesn't make sense. Anyway, the point of this video is, regardless of what you feel about Tyler Robinson, whether he's guilty or innocent, I really don't think that his right to a fair trial is being upheld. I think there's a lot of weird, shady shit going on with the media, and this whole thing just feels really biased. And Charlie Kirk was an amazing human being, and he did a lot of really beautiful things for humanity and for this country. And he does deserve justice. And Tyler Robinson, as a citizen of the United States, has a right to a fair trial. And it doesn't feel like that is being upheld. And that feels really strange to me. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know.